shootings overnight leave 2 men dead. The decision on the future management of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation is heading to cabinet. The Crisis Center rejects a donation made by Tall Pines Member of Parliament Leslie Miller. Growing tension between customs and immigration workers and government, and the impact new emission testing legislation may have on the economy. We have those stories and more coming up tonight. Good Sunday evening, Bahamas. I'm Christina McNeil. The NB12 weekend starts right now. Thanks for joining us. 4 separate shooting incidents left 2 men dead and 4 others in hospital. The incidents all took place within approximately 12 hours. The first around 1 p.m. yesterday and the last around 1:30 this morning. Dana Smith reports.
A man was killed and 2 others shot last night outside a residence off East Street South when 2 armed men opened fire.
Officers responded to the scene, where upon arrival they met 3 persons, 2 adult males and a female suffering from apparent gunshot wounds about the body.
Police say the group had just pulled up outside a home in Garden Hills in a champagne-colored car when the incident occurred. The driver of the vehicle, unofficially identified as Carlos Colebrook, was pronounced dead at the scene, while the other 2 victims were taken to hospital for surgery. Roll said another woman, believed to be the fiancée of the deceased, was in the car when the incident occurred but escaped injury.
What we do know is the driver of the vehicle had pulled to the house where you see the vehicle here behind me to drop one of the passengers at home when they were accosted by 2 males who opened fire on his vehicle. He was shot to the head and about the upper body. The second male was shot to the side and the female was shot to the face.
The triple shooting took place around 11 p.m. and was the second shooting incident of the day. The first happened around 1 p.m. Police say a man was cleaning his car outside his home on Mahogany Street when the occupants of a red vehicle pulled up, opened fire on him, and sped off. The victim reportedly received a gunshot wound to the chest and was transported to hospital where he is listed in critical condition. 12 hours later, police received reports of the third shooting incident. Shortly before 1 a.m., a man was brought to hospital in a private vehicle, suffering from a gunshot wound to his left side. Police also received reports of another shooting incident here in Yellow Elder Gardens. A man was left dead after he was shot to the side and face by a shotgun. Superintendent Paul Roll said the victim was standing outside his car when he was accosted by a man armed with a shotgun. The gunman opened fire, hitting the victim, who ran to his car in a bid to escape, but collapsed and died inside his car. Many residents of the area were reluctant to speak on camera, but one man who said he knew the victim said it came as a shock.
Yeah, pretty shocked. I don't want to understand it because I know the person from my area because he lived in my area further down from me. So it was like a shock. And he was a very nice guy. Never bothered nobody. Every time you see this young man, for the time I know him, for my years, when he greets you, it's like, well, if you have a problem in your life, let's not have a problem. Just leave you because he always comes with a smile and always had good things to say.
This was the second deadly incident and the 4th and final shooting incident in just over 12 hours. Police appeal to members of the public who may have any information about any of the incidents to contact them. Reporting for NB12 Weekend, I'm Dana Smith.
Well, charges may be filed as early as this week in connection to the murder of an American visitor on Bimini Thursday. Reports are the victim is 45-year-old Carl Yerger, who was visiting Bimini from Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. Initial police reports indicate Yerger was discovered around 7 a.m. near the marina at Bimini Big Game Resort and Marina in Alistown. He was described by his Little League team as a forward-thinking, intelligent, and thoughtful leader. According to his wife's Facebook page, Yerger is the father of 2 sons. Police were questioning 4 other visitors in connection with this incident. Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Northern District, Emmerich Seymour, told our news team that one of the suspects was bleeding from his nose and had blood on his hands and feet when he was taken into police custody for questioning. The final report on which company will be selected to take over the power generation, transmission, and distribution at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation is heading to Cabinet, with a decision expected shortly. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister responsible for BEC, Philip Davis, revealed as much to MB12, explaining what will happen next.
We have completed the process of evaluating all the bids now. I'm awaiting a report from our experts that we hope to take to Cabinet by Tuesday. It's for Cabinet to consider all of the evaluations and the recommendations of the expert. A decision will be made following that. Once that decision is made, depending on what that decision is, that will take the next steps.
Government will decide if it will engage 1 or 2 companies to take over the power generation, transmission, and distribution components at BEC. A decision on the matter was expected by the end of February. The move is one government hopes will improve efficiency at the corporation and reduce the cost of electricity. The bidding process is managed by KPMG Bahamas. Well, the Crisis Center has rejected the $1,000 donation of Tall Pines Member of Parliament Leslie Miller. Last week, Miller flaunted a check made out to the Crisis Center, apologizing for domestic abuse remarks he made in the House of Assembly. Miller said he was making the donation on behalf of the Bahamian women who have been hurt or injured by a Bahamian man and pledged to help the Crisis Center. He also encouraged his colleagues to make donations. Well, that donation was not well received by Crisis Center officials, who said in a statement this should be a teachable moment for the MP. Representatives say Miller is not the center's spokesperson in Parliament, as he previously indicated. Miller says he has a long history of fighting for the rights and protection of women. Coming up, members of the transportation sector warning government about the potential impact new legislation could have on the economy.
But this will impact us heavily economically.
But first, the latest on growing tension between customs and immigration workers and government. Find out more when MB12 Weekend returns.